Welcome to the podcast today. It's Vinny's Talk. Today is November 19th, and we're going to be talking about the Kiely Rodni case, but also we're going to be talking about the Truckee tunnels, Donner Pass, part 2, right? We talked a little bit about the Kiely Rodni case before and how long ago these tunnels were built into the mountains in Truckee, how attractive to the Truckee, California people, and not only in Truckee, but people all around the world in the States come to Donner Pass and Truckee, California, just come visit these tunnels because they're most known for in Donner Pass and like around Truckee. I mean, who wouldn't want to visit the beautiful tunnels? They're hidden away in the mountains. And from what I'm seeing and hearing, it's a sight to see. There's a lot of different graffiti that's down there. I kind of want to go see it, and I'm still really very upset of how they handled the Kiely Rodni case. But this right here could point to a lot of different directions into the Kiely Rodni case. I feel like, but not just with like help solving it. I'm not saying it has everything to do with the Kiely Rodni case, but I feel like there's bits and clues, right, of how this place of Truckee and things around Truckee could have an effect on the people that live there, especially like doing stuff there and how people go about their business. Especially, you got to think about this. This is very true. What led up to, and this goes all back to the beginning of the Kiely Rodni case. You know, this podcast is about the Kiely Rodni case too, but this is before things happened, right? When you take a look at the whole state of California and then Truckee as a whole, Truckee, California, what is there to do in Truckee, California? What is there to do nearby? Lake Tahoe, the Tahoe National Park, you know what I'm saying? Lake Tahoe. And then you have what you call the tunnels of Truckee, the hidden away gem, where everybody probably likes to go. And mind you, not everybody likes to go because some of the season probably gets too cold and people are too scared to like want to hit down there and be like, you know what? I'm going to take a hike and I'm going to check out the tunnels of Truckee. I've seen some videos on YouTube, though, where it says that these tunnels get very dark. So you might want to bring like a flashlight or some type of light fixture, something like that, so you could see. Now, from what I'm hearing is that there's some paranormal activity down there. There's like orbs. This place does look very haunted. Pretty sure, maybe not during the day, but who knows? It could be very haunted during the day. I'm pretty sure there's spirits that live down there that was once living in the woods in the mountains because that's very high. Not too high, but I'm saying like these are tunnels that were built in like 1800s, years and years ago, right? So very old. This is, I feel like, man, I don't know if people believe in ghosts and stuff like that, but I do believe anywhere there's bats, y'all, there's some spirits and there's some ghosts. And I'm into learning about hauntings and haunted stuff. But the Donner tunnels, man, are very haunted, supposedly. If you go and discover them, I've seen some videos where people have seen stuff in there. You know, people have seen like ghosts and like spirit like moving around and like. And there's not people out there. Some may not agree with me that believes in spirits, but I definitely do believe in spirits. Like this one time when I was, you know, by myself and I was walking through the woods and there was nobody around, but it was really dark at night and all I could hear was just like silence, but you could hear things like all up in the distance, like leaves and things kind of like moving. Maybe it was like a coyote or something like that. Maybe it was a squirrel, but it was really late at night. So I was just like, nah, dude, that's not that. But I turn around and I see like this white thing move over me, like really slow. he comes from like my blind side on my left side, like very slow up this way, and then he just kind of crosses over, and it's just like this freaking, it looks like an orb, but it's just like a face and like a spirit, and then he just turns around and looks at me, and it just disappears. And I'm just like, dude, that was the most craziest thing I've ever seen in my life. I mean, nothing happened to me that day, but that's what I'm saying, like spirits and ghosts are definitely real. I mean, some people don't believe in them, and that's fine. But anyways, back to these tunnels. And you have to think about, like, the town of Truckee, California. There is nothing but mountains there. This is a mountain town, right, guys? You know, there's so many things that haven't even been touched. I mean, the tunnels are, like I said, dude, these tunnels are very old. And then you have people going up in there, and who the hell knows what the hell they're doing in there. Probably crazy shit. And you know, really late at night, it gets probably so dark you can't even see. But what I was saying before was that how it affects the community in doing things and going different places. Like, where do these kids hang out? But I'm pretty sure that there was a lot of foot traffic in these tunnels. What were these kids doing there? There wasn't really a lot of parents around to tell them what to do. It seemed like the way, and this all goes back to the beginning of what I was saying before, it seems like a lot of these parents and that live in these communities that way in the West Coast, or at least in Truckee, man. And I'm not trying to put Truckee down, y'all. I'm just saying there's some parts of Truckee where they're on some bullshit, where how it would start, where they would hang out and no one really would be responsible for each other. They would just kind of do whatever the fuck they want, you know what I mean? Because that's how it seemed. You know, you're going into the tunnels, not really giving a fuck, because you're out in the fucking open. You're out, you know, there's nobody around. So what had happened, you know, if these kids were doing these kind of things, and this kind of a thing would lead up to a thing that would happen at these campgrounds, right? And I'm not saying that that's what happened. I'm just saying, like, you have to be open your mind to think about these kind of things, because, you know, this is kind of like how it went down for Kiely when she was with a best friend of hers. Supposedly, you know, Sammy Smith was supposed to be her best friend. That night when she said that she was going to be my ride home. She was going to be the designated driver. But Samantha Smith was drunk. She was getting Kiely Rodni drunk. But then when she says Kiely Rodni was too drunk, then no, all of a sudden pump the brakes, and now I'm going to find my own ride. And we still don't know who gave Miss Sammy Smith a ride home. But all I could tell you is that if I'm a real friend of somebody, I would make sure at every way possible, that I would make sure my friend at least gets to the damn yard, man. At least puts her ass on the stoop or in the freaking grass. Be like, hey, at least I got you, you know what I'm saying, back to your grass or back to your yard, and you're home safe. But no, but you would think that, and this still gets me to this day when I think about this case. Of course it's about justice for Kiely, but it's also about sleuthing. And for me, when I sleuth through the evidence, sleuth through the storyline and the timeline, and I'm just like, okay, this doesn't add up to this point when, you know, she could say, Samantha Smith, right, Sammy, she could say that these things happened, and I'm not knocking you for that, you know what I'm saying? These are just my thoughts and opinions, but these are my thoughts and opinions, and I'm allowed to say this. But I'm just saying, like, she could say that, you know, I don't want to ride with her because she was too drunk. But if you didn't want to ride with her if she's too drunk, then why would you ride with her, period? And why would you go and hang out with her and drink and supposedly go pee and all this other stuff and go do other things with her, and then tell, you know what I'm saying, not be there for her when other dudes or other things have happened to her that night? You just dip out. You just dipset. You know what I'm saying? You just leave. These are the things that don't add up. And then with LE, with law enforcement, the things that don't add up for me is like how they just didn't really do things in the manner of which law enforcement should do, that would do in a professional manner, like, protect Kiely's car when bringing it up from the water after, who had found her, and then we know the AW had found her, and then just like things were just handled the wrong way. So when people say that we think that, foul play, whatever, accident, whatever, like, no. The reason why people have this mindset, or the reason why people believe that this wasn't an accident by drowning or accidental drowning, is because of the way things went down, how law enforcement handled things. Watching video evidence of Samantha Smith, the release of the fire cam videos, watching different interviews about how Kiely was supposedly very intoxicated, but yet her autopsy report says that she was barely intoxicated. These are questions and answers we don't have, guys. And I'm making video after video because I'm like, dude, like, still trying to understand. Just like I'm still trying to understand other cases, but one thing that is for certain is that, the release of certain videos, just like the release of the trail cams across from miles and miles away from where they were at, like, can you really tell that was what had happened that night from a trail cam, from a fire cam video, whatever the shit that was? I'm not sure. I mean, yeah, they're definitely factual, right? Because they help with fires and stuff of that sort. And I don't know, man. It's still justice for Kiely. It's justice for Gabby Petito. You know what I'm saying? No matter what, man. Justice is the motherfucking movement. The movement. Some may not agree with how I feel and my thoughts, what I say, but I'm just saying, like, you got to remember, these are the things that we have to think about. Like I said before, like, what went down before everything had happened? What's the mindset of these kids? What were the mindset? These are the things, like, motherfuckers be like, yeah, these are the things. Shit, for me, I need to smoke. I need to smoke some. Smoke a little something, Vinny. Right? In the sanctuary, right? We also have more questions about how they had no sheriffs, right? No, I've said this before, no secure, like, there was no security. We got, one party going on. You got all these kids. No one securing the area. To me, that's a red flag. I know when I go to my local forest preserve or state park, I see motherfuckers driving up and down the streets and all that. Up and down the trails and shit and the roadways and everything. With this situation, was it reported that there wasn't any rangers, right? They call them rangers, forest rangers, whatever you want to call it. National park rangers. There wasn't too many present, or was there any present at the time of this party before Kiely had her car had went into the water? Was there presence of rangers? Because I didn't hear reports of them. Don't quote me on that. Maybe there was, but from what I'm hearing, if things would have went down, I mean, how did her car get into the water without? If there was a ranger that was patrolling the area, that was patrolling the park at the sanctuary and down by the water, by the reservoir at the time that her car went down, then maybe Kiely would still be alive. But I just don't believe that there was a ranger that was patrolling the area. And it was dark as fuck. You can't tell me that, oh, they found weed in Kiely's system. You can't tell me that, oh, like, she freaking drove into the water, like, being high. I know if I'm high as fuck, I'm not driving into no damn water. If anything, I'm more alert. For real. I'm not driving into no damn water, man. I just don't believe it, man. I'm sorry, but till this day, it's justice for Kiely, and I'm still sticking by what I believe in. But I feel like there was nobody patrolling that area, guys. And if there was, I feel like if there was people patrolling the area, then Kiely would still be here today. But yeah, that's just how I feel about, and watching another YouTuber's video about going down there late at night, seeing how the different turns to get down by the lake there, because the water level down there, it rises and it goes back down, just because that's a reservoir. So that motherfucker that thing could get down to almost like a pond, like a puddle of water, and that shit can go back up to almost like a damn near half of a lake. So, man, dude, something ain't right over there in Truckee. Now, I'm not saying Truckee's not beautiful, guys, but something ain't right. So I feel like something happened bogus that night, and somebody knows something. But rest in peace, man, because this one, that case, this is a hard one, because I definitely covered a lot of videos, right? Just like I did in the Gabby Petito case. Gabby Petito's case is the main one that got me into true crime. It got me covering people's cases and getting more passionate about this, because before I was never really into true crime, guys, but I was always good at talking and being myself and getting the truth out and feeling like I wanted to bring and carry someone's story to bring justice for them, because when you lose someone, especially like a loved one, even in your own family, you want justice for the person, especially if they're lost, man. If they're lost, or if they get killed wrongfully, justice for them, man. Shout out to, family members that lost their life. Shout out to the guys, man. Shout out to the girls, man. Shout out to everybody that lost their life. Man, shout out to Takeoff, man. Rest in peace to Takeoff, too. Gone too soon, But, it's real talk, man. The Truckee tunnels. We have tunnels over where I live at. And I can tell you that the tunnels of Truckee and the tunnels over here, you can't compare them. Because, man, dude, it's a whole new level of tunnels in California. Like, motherfucker, shit's coming out the grass, shit's coming out the mountainsides. Spirits are very much alive. And, man, I just feel like, if people are living around spirits and people are like, Vinny, Ron, this guy's talking about spirits. Is he really like, do we really believe this guy? Well, I think you should believe this guy, because beforehand let's just say you got all these kids running around. We don't know really how they're spending their time. A lot of them are probably going to the mountains, hiking, and hitting up, the Truckee tunnels, man. And these kids used to be out there partying, whether it be the tunnels, whether it be at the sanctuary, down there by the reservoir, by the pine trees. There's a lot of areas in Lake Tahoe, man, to chill. And these kids had too much time on their hands, and a group of people not talking, because they seen something, guys, right? They just don't, They don't, no one's trying to come forward. But justice, God always sees you through to the end. But I really do believe, man, the Truckee tunnels are really haunted. Seeing a video, one day I'm gonna get down there and I'm gonna do some videoing myself on some real shit, cause they pretty haunted. They're pretty haunted, y'all. Now that you guys hear me ramble on, talk a little bit, is because I really do believe, like, man, when you go out to a place, especially like Truckee, California, or even Chicago, man, there's haunted and spiritual, not just haunted, but spiritual places. And even though where I live at, we don't have mountains, but we got the seasons changed, 3 different seasons, and it's still beautiful here. But all I'm going to say is that there's a whole new level to different states of this beautiful United States of America, right? There's just different spots that are just better than others. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm just being honest, though. And thank you guys for joining this podcast today. It's Justice for Kiely, man, and you know it's a lot to take in, to think about, but I want to thank you guys for joining. Until the next time, y'all, man, y'all know what to do, man. Vinny D style. All right. Take care, guys.